Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel, Booked with Juby. Today I'm wrapping up all the books that I read in May. And this month, it was a little over the place, to be honest with you. I didn't stick to one genre. I read fantasy, I read thriller, I read historical fiction, and a little bit of romance. So I really didn't stick to anything. I had a little bit of a plan, but honestly, I was traveling this month. I was in Egypt for a week and a half, and I didn't get as much reading done as I wanted to, but that's okay because some months are like that, you know? And basically, I got 4 physical books read and 2 audiobooks read. So let's talk about it. Up is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I feel like Emily Henry never misses. I have read 3 of her books, and I was a little late to the game, to be honest with you. I just started reading her books this year, and I am a fan. I don't know, their writing's really good. There's a lot of good character development. The stories are nice. They just pull at your heartstrings. I don't know. There's something about it. Just a big fan, big Emily Henry fan over here. This one gave me a little bit of everything. It was friends to lovers. It was forced proximity, second chances. There's also like a found family dynamic, which really hit me. It also, it dealt with 3 friends who met in university and then are years later are trying to like navigate that friendship and what it looks like with new partners and moving on, new jobs, moving to different cities. And that's exactly what happened to me in my life. And I have 2 really fantastic best friends from university that I love so dearly. And so I don't know, this one just really hit home. Like I really felt it in my heart. I also really loved the main character Harriet and her boo Win, or her fake boo, because they have to pretend to be in a relationship with their friend so they don't mess up the whole dynamic of this friends weekend that they have going on. So honestly, this one is a really top read. I really enjoyed it. I hope you like it as much as I do. I gave it a nice, I think 4 or 5 stars, which, you know, can't beat it. So if you have read this, let me know what you think, because I loved it. The next book I read was The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. This was my first book by her, and I loved it. Fun fact for you, I read The Frozen River while we were on a cruise ship on the Nile River in Egypt, which was extremely hot, not frozen. So just like funny little time to be reading this one. But I was really wanting to read a historical fiction. I haven't in a while, and so I have had this one since Christmas. I got it as a Christmas present, and I thought, I think this is time. And I also brought it with me to Egypt, and I thought it was a good time for a historical fiction. This one is a historical fiction with a mystery twist. So it's kind of got both for you. It's got your historical fiction and it's got your mystery. It's set in the 1700s in Maine during the winter, aka the Frozen River. It's so atmospheric. The writing is beautiful. And basically, it follows the story of Martha. She's a midwife who uncovers a crime in her small town. And if you like strong female characters and a little mystery and just great writing, this one's for you. Loved it a lot. Okay, so the third book I read was The Locked Door by Freida McFadden. And the reason I read of Freida is because I had read those 2 books while I was in Egypt. I got home, I was a little tired from that trip. We were doing so much that it wasn't really a vacation. It was more of an adventure, which is totally fine, but I almost needed a vacation after the vacation. So I just needed something that wasn't going to destroy my brain, and I needed something that would get me out of a bit of a reading slump and just kind of like a quick, fast pace. And Freida will always do that. She never misses. This one's really interesting. It's about a woman whose father was a serial killer, and then years and years later, it's kind of caught up with her. And now she is navigating a new string of murders, and it's super fast paced. It has lots of twists, and it's very bingeable. So if you're in that reading slump like I sort of was, pick up a Freida. this one in particular, very good. Okay, so the last physical book I read in May was Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Now, I actually had wanted to read both of them, so I wanted to read the first one and then the second one, which is Crooked Kingdom, in May. And I think I overshot how much time I was going to have in May, and that's okay. I had a lot of hopefuls, and it didn't quite work out, but I did get this one finished. And I started Crooked Kingdom, so as you can tell, I do like it a lot. And I will definitely recap this one in my June. So if you're wanting to know about the second one, look forward to the next video at the end of June. But let's get to Six of Crows. So this one has been on my TBR for a while. I've seen it all over social media. I wasn't sure if I'd like it or really anything about it, and I loved it. It was a fantasy heist. So it had this criminal activity meets fantasy, which was really neat and an interesting read for me. The characters are morally gray at best. It also has 5 different point of views. 6 if you count the beginning, which I kind of don't, but we'll go with 5. And each character brings something different to the table, and it's really just a group of misfits that have to come together to basically break into this prison to get this, I won't spoil it too much, but to get somebody out of the prison. So it's kind of a big deal, and it's a really interesting read. I kind of flew through it, even though it's I don't know, I think it's almost 500 pages or something. So I genuinely liked it. This was my first book by Leigh Bardugo, and I definitely would like to pick up some of the other ones she has. I think she does the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and I think there's another one. What's the other one? King of Scars, which is after Six of Crows. So far, like the Gresha verse, big fan. Let me know if you've read the other ones or if you've read this one. Did you like them? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Okay, let's talk audiobooks that I listened to in May. So I only got through 2, which for me is actually kind of a low amount. I'm usually more like a 4-ish, 4, 5 even sometimes a month. This month, and let me tell you why, I actually had downloaded a ton of audiobooks from my Libby app and from Spotify so that I could listen to them on the planes or when we were traveling. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was so tired, and sometimes when I was listening to the books, I was falling asleep. So I had to restart a bunch of the books over and over again because I was so tired and I missed half the book, and I was like, I don't even know what happened. Okay, so let's get into the first one, which was The Patron Saint of Liars by Ann Patchett. I have listened to 2 other books by her, The Dutch House and Tom Lake. I enjoyed both of those greatly. I did not really like this one at all. To be honest with you, it was really, really long, and I kind of wish I DNF'd it, but I had already put so much time into it that I thought I'll just finish it up. It was a chore. I'm going to be honest with you. I was a little, it wasn't a bad story. It basically follows this woman as she navigates leaving her husband, and she goes to this nunnery basically to have this baby, and her husband doesn't know about it, and she meets a man there and they get together, and that's it. It's just, there's not really even a big romance. I really hated the main character. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. This one fell a little flat for me, especially because I had already listened to the other 2 books and I genuinely loved those ones so much. So it was a little disappointed and probably should have DNF'd this one. The last audiobook that I listened to in May was One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have listened and read a few of her other books, and so far I would say I am a fan. I usually rate them anywhere between a 3 and a 4, which is a good rating. I know sometimes if people don't think it's a 5-star, they won't read it. Just because it's not a 5-star doesn't mean it's not a good book. I love a lot of 3 stars. It's just, was it my favorite book in the world? No, but did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. And so this goes to show that even this one, I rated it a 3.5, I think. I really liked it. And this one was a little sad. So basically it follows the story of Emma, who has a crush on this boy, Jesse, in high school and doesn't think she could ever get with him, and fate kind of intercepts, and they end up meeting at a party, fall in love, move to Los Angeles, and start their lives, get married, do all that. So they're living their dream. She's so happy, and then Jesse goes on a work trip and ends up being lost at sea and presumably dead. So once she accepts this, she ends up moving back home, and she is trying to move on, trying to pick herself up and become the person she wants to be. And she ends up meeting up with an old fling, also from high school, named Sam. And they end up getting together, and they end up, falling in love. And she's struggling with this, like, is it too soon? Is she a bad person? Like, that was her one true love, was Jesse. And she's trying to navigate all this. She gets engaged to this man, Sam, and then all of a sudden, well, bam, Jesse's alive. So the book basically follows, like, the three of them and how they navigate this crazy situation, and all these feelings that are coming up for all of them because of such a crazy, insane situation that's happened to them. So it was really, like, it was very heartfelt. It was very emotional. It wasn't a nice story. It was a sad story, but it ended up being a very nice story. So I think I gave it a 3.5. I definitely really enjoyed it. Also really enjoyed the actress who did the audiobook. So highly recommend that one. So that's everything that I read and listened to in May. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these or listened to any of these, and let me know your thoughts, because I'd love to talk about it. Also, if you have any book recommendations, please, please, please send them my way. You can find me here on YouTube, Booked with Juby, or you can find me on Instagram and TikTok, Booked with Juby. And if you aren't already subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications so you get my weekly videos. And I love you all so much, and happy reading. Bye.